Okay, well, thank you for coming. So today's talk is called "Going for Gold," or how to win, how to create an award-winning project. I have a small disclaimer up front, and I'm totally out of my comfort zone, as you might have already noticed. So please be gentle for me. You're the most friendly community I heard, so I'll be fine. That's my name, Rutger, hard to pronounce, and I apparently have a Twitter handle as well. A little bit about me. I'm basically a lousy back-end developer who happened to turn to be an entrepreneur. I co-founded DotControl a few years ago, which is a digital agency. And I founded another growth hacking agency called Rockboost like 3 or 4 years ago. Don't know if you all know what growth hacking is, but it's a, let's say, data-driven marketing approach. So instead of wasting your complete marketing budget on one big campaign, you do little tests and see what works, and then you continue and improve on that. So yeah, basically smart growth tactics. Yeah, like I said, the little animation. So 2 companies, DotControl, Rockboost. They are different companies, but and different people, but we're located in the same offices. So DotControl is doing the creation part, so everything from strategy to concept to design, implementation, development, support. And on the Rockboost side, we're basically doing all the data analytics stuff, so making sure event tracking data is gathered. We're doing qualitative research, and basically Rockboost is constantly challenging everything that DotControl is building. So at DotControl we try to go live very fast, so lean startup, MVP, then move over to Rockboost. They analyze the data, they form a test hypothesis, and then at DotControl we implement that as A/B tests or features, and so we end up in a, let's say, build, measure, learn loop to constantly improve our work. Our main office is located in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. We have another office in Heerlen, which is in the south of Holland, which I'm from. And our third office, oh, bit too quick there. Can I go back? Yeah, third office is in Curaçao, which is in the Caribbean. And we're opening, I spoiled that one already, opening an office in Amsterdam really soon, so stay tuned. Like I said, we see ourselves as digital creatives, and we don't build websites, but we build the digital ambitions of our clients. So we have a team of around 85, what we call digital heroes, and we really strive to go for the best customer experience while basing all, not doing it on assumptions, but basing everything on data. And our end goal, actually the only thing we're aiming for is growth for our clients. So yeah, trying to make them grow, zigzag, disrupt instead of being disrupted. How do we do it? Well, we innovate the shit out of it. That's basically the part I'm working in. It's called DotControl Labs. And it's basically a sandboxed environment where we do all our innovation, try out new emerging technologies without a customer looking over your shoulder. So it's a great way to motivate the team and gain experience with those technologies so that you can use it for a client project later on. We even do DotControl Lab projects with clients, but then they know in advance that, hey, there's no like guaranteed output. You know what you're starting in, and we're just trying to have fun, trying to innovate. Don't know if you've seen the talk from the guys from Macan yesterday, but it's actually the same concept, trying to stimulate innovation within your company. Okay, now a little showreel of the work we're doing.
Yeah.
as you can see, there were like a lot of different projects, so we're not focusing on a specific industry sector or some sort of other vertical. Yeah, basically we try to help every company that has a question and that wants to grow. So, a little bit about our tech stack. We've always been a Microsoft company, so always focused on .NET related technologies. We're a Microsoft, Kentico, and a Nopcommerce Gold partner. Don't know if you know Nopcommerce, but it's a ASP in the MVC e-commerce framework in .NET Core. It's really nice if you're doing e-commerce work. Yeah, and we're also doing some Sitecore implementations, and we did a lot of DNN. I guess everyone is entitled to make his own mistakes. We do native work in Xamarin. We try to use all the different Azure stuff. And on the front end, we're doing a lot of React, Habitat. Yeah, probably when I return from this event, then they switch to another framework. That's how fast it goes in the front end world. Yeah, and since last week, we became Umbraco Gold partner because we thought it would be time to give something back to the community. Let's say, I was looking in my mailbox to see when was my first contact with Umbraco, and the first hit I got was in 2011. And it was a friend of mine who had a client with an issue with his or her site. And I looked into it. I think I found the issue pretty quickly, probably some content not being punished, something really published, not being really simple. But yeah, back then I wasn't really a fan for some reason. I mean, it's kept in hindsight, but now I deeply regret it. But I guess it was a custom e-commerce implementation, which was really ugly. So probably not had to do anything with Umbraco. But yeah, I could have been a Codegarden veteran, but now I'm a newbie, first year Codegarden attendee. So a little bit forward to 2017. That's when our Umbraco love started. I'll be, in this talk I'll be preaching to the choir a little bit, but it's giving our Umbraco love, so I guess you don't mind. We were working on Nopcommerce, and as Neil said in his keynote, focusing on best of breed technology, so making Umbraco wants to have the best content management, content editing experience, and Nopcommerce wants to focus on the e-commerce, the transactional part, so they have a really basic content management experience. So we were looking to other frameworks that we could use to enrich that experience. And that's how we got to Umbraco. I started playing with it. First Visual Studio install, and I was like, well, that's actually what how you would want to install your CMS, do your updates. It was a really warm, let's say, welcome compared to DNN or other CMSs. And I was playing around in the starter kit. I noticed a small bug, fixed it, sent in the pull request, and then I was like, hey, this pull request got merged pretty quickly. I mean, these guys are actually giving about their community, because what we experienced with other CMSs, the community wasn't, well, not always that friendly. They were not always willing to do something with our input or to improve the, let's say, merge pull request back. But this is the pull request. As you can see, it's very humble. It's not even in the main repo, but letting little setting error. But it got merged. And since I was sucking up anyway, I decided to do a little tweet about it with the high five you rock hashtag. I didn't know, only yesterday I learned what it meant actually. But in the end, I got the chief unicorn himself to reply, so I was feeling really proud, and never watched this tweet again. Then a little bit forward again. I usually have for 2 nights a week I don't sleep, so I have a very, let's say, some insomnia, and that's the time that I use to experiment with stuff that I don't get to do during the day. And so on one of these nights I decided to take one of our static HTML CSS templates which we designed for a client and tried hooking it up to Umbraco. And my wife was really angry because the Mac butterfly keys, they make a lot of noise. So then she sends me to the other room, and but I couldn't sleep anymore because I was so excited about the way it worked. For me, it really hit the sweet spot on at least within our company how we should do CMS implementation, and especially because I don't do any front end. I mean, if I can do it, then everyone can. And yeah, so for me that was the Umbraco aha moment, and that's in growth hacking. The aha moment is like the moment from a user first starting to use your product. It takes some time, and then suddenly the user realizes from, hey, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly the product. This is, I had this desire or requirement or whatever, and this project is doing that and doing more. And I think Umbraco really nailed it, at least for me. And because you really want to have that aha moment, because then users start using your product more and more and more, start telling about them to their friends. So that's yeah, well done. Yeah, then next step. So I had some experimenting myself. Basically, how every company or project starts, you need to have friends, fools, and family, or family. So we were looking for a, let's say, tryout Umbraco project, and I had a friend who started his own business, and I decided to help him out with his website. But I didn't want to put any additional load on the rest of our company, so I wanted to do it myself. Well, I had our creative director design a logo and give me some stock images. And then I think I found the Uskin theme. I bought one of them, installed it, Umbraco, worked out of the box, really nice. The guys have great support. I think Mark is here. But sorry for all the stupid questions I asked back then, probably. But the nice thing is that I was able to set it up really quickly, and had site up and running in no time, filled with content. I even created this is a site, by the way. So just a regular content site, and I even created this manual on how to use the CMS, because I didn't want our support guys to be overloaded with questions from this customer. And in retrospect, that was like really a total waste of time. I think I literally spent more time making the manual than doing the Umbraco implementation. But I sent over the login, and this is the picture of the guys taken, let's say, minutes after they logged into Umbraco for the first time. You can see how happy they are. But yeah, we had no support questions. We just send it over, and they filled it without any issues. Well, next step, convince the team. Change is always hard, and I was looking for ways to introduce Umbraco so that we could use it for the other projects from our clients. And I decided the best way to do it would be to just let everyone experiment with it in the company and feel for themselves how great a product Umbraco is, and I think that would be the best way to get some, let's say, some movement. So for our design guys, they were like really inspired, because I think Umbraco allows you to design stuff without having to worry if it's possible to build or not. There are no like real limitations in the CMS. You don't have to really think about having a property here or there. We can just make it. Front-end guys were really happy. 100% control over the HTML output. They didn't need a backend or .NET developer to set anything up. If you do a little bit of Razor, then you're fine. Backend guys, the extensibility was great. It was a nice toolbox, but not too bloated that with the larger enterprise stuff, you have a really big toolbox of plugins that you never use. DevOps guys were happy. We always start using CI/CD, of course. So that was a check. That was even before we used Umbraco Cloud. So now they're out of work, sort of. Support guys, our support queue has never been so empty since we started using Umbraco. So that's really nice for the support guys. Our growth hackers, which is the tension between designers and developers. The same holds for growth hackers, because they kind of come into the territory of the developer. But they were yeah, also amazed. We reached 100% SEO, desktop and mobile scores in Google. We could do all the tracking that we want and implement, if someone wants to track a custom event or whatever. Scrum Masters were happy. There were no impediments. It works out of the box. You won't have any issues in your project. Sales is motivated because they know that they are selling a product which your customer is going to love. Yeah, well, clients are in love, and I think from a management perspective, if you're happy team, happy life, right? That's the deal. Okay, so our next step was to get certified, just to see if what we were doing, we were on the right track, and we were committing to standards. So I think that's when Helle came contacted us. We had a little Skype call, and then I forwarded Helle to Mark, who's my business partner and does all the business stuff. So Mark was sitting in his office waiting for the Skype call to begin. And yeah, then suddenly we had Helle popping up in our office, and we acted as if, I don't know, we were kind of surprised to have her showing up. Do you want to be a partner? Was obviously Helle's question, and yeah, I think Mark is probably, because he's selling stuff all day, it's probably really hard to sell something to him, but apparently he said yes, so we wanted to go for gold. Guess you cannot say no to Helle, right? So part of the gold partnership was us coming to Codegarden. I was the only one who was able to clear the schedule. So I was thinking, okay, nice. Going to a developer conference, attend some talks in Denmark, must be great. But then, it was Helle again, and she called Mark, don't you want to be a speaker? And Mark, he knows how I hate public speaking, so he said, yeah, no problem, Rutger will do it. So that was only a few days ago. So let's say my current mood at Codegarden has been like this for the last few days. And then to top it off, we actually won the Umbraco award yesterday, which was also it's kind of a row of awkward moments for me this week, but hey, I'll survive. Let's see. Okay, I'll quickly show the case that we submitted for the awards. Actually, I tried to get in the case last year already, but then I only found out about the Umbraco Awards one day before the deadline. So I was like, yeah, we're not going to make it. But that's actually one of the things, if you're going to want to do award-winning projects, you want to make sure that you know when all the award submissions are, and that you know what kind of input they need for their submission form, so that you can prepare that. And you actually want to prepare that, let's say, from day one that you're doing the project, because if you plan on doing that afterwards, you know how it works, then you're in your next project, and you definitely don't have time for that. So do that.
Every year, National Geographic organizes a prestigious photo contest where everyone can share their love for photography. This year, National Geographic challenged us to deliver a new intelligent platform for this contest, improving the usability, scalability, and accessibility. We designed a platform where you could really feel the grandeur a good shot has and deserves. We added immersive animations to intensify the experience and make the viewer feel like they were there when the shot was taken, no matter what device they're on. In 924 commits, 365 automated builds, and a whopping 216 release deployments, we built the National Geographic Photo Contest project on top of our beloved Umbraco CMS. First could upload about 12,530 photographs, totaling 40 gigabytes of raw image material. First, amateur and professional photographers could sign up for the competition by uploading their picture in the upload wizard. Not only was active metadata automatically extracted from the raw image files, but we also automatically suggested tags based on the actual subjects in the images using Cognitive Services Computer Vision API. Next up, were the editors, who had the immense task of reviewing all the photographs. Luckily, artificial intelligence came to our rescue. We were able to lighten their load by automatically detecting potentially offensive content. And last but not least, it was up to the National Geographic community to cast their votes. We just made sure we came well prepared. In the end, in a very short deadline, we made sure that amateurs and professionals could enter this prestigious contest and come together to share their love for photography. Personally, we think we did a pretty good job.
Okay. So a little bit about the client brief. Our customer was Fox, which is the, let's say, owns the Net Geo brand, and they basically told us build a next level photo competition for us, and we were like, okay, that's possible. Of course, Net Geo has a very strong graphical brand, so they, they were very focused on the aesthetics of the experience. And they warned us because last year they had a lot of issues with performance because there are some peak moments in the process. So we're like, okay, let's do this. And what we basically start out with is that, let's say if a client comes to us with and says, I want a website, then we take a step back and say, okay, let's first think about a creative concept. And that's what we base everything on. And creative doesn't necessarily mean, you know, a nice PSD with some nice colors, but it's the bigger story behind the project that you can then use for your design, for your technical implementation, for the storytelling in the project. And well, in this project, as you can see, we chose to put the Net Geo stuff a little bit on the background and totally focus on the immense power of images, because that was the whole concept was built around that. Of course, we were lucky because they were all amateur or professional photographers, so the image quality was really good. So we kind of hoped for that. And what I think what's making this site great is that it's all, let's say, user-generated images. So it's not stock photo material that you know that looks nice in the design, but then when your client starts editing his own material, then it gets rubbish. So that was basically the creative concept that we used to put everything together on. See that? There was a really short deadline, and so when the creative guys were working on the creative concept, the first thing we did was focus on setting up the CI/CD, because we knew we had to go live very fast, deploy, and we had to deploy very fast, frequently, and without any risk after that. I think we offloaded all the image storing to Azure Blob to make sure that, you know, especially in the voting phase, when people are voting and looking at all the images, that can be quite harsh on your resources. So that was all offloaded to Azure Blob. Here are some DevOps pictures. I guess you probably know that. Now about the AI part, that's what we put in. So basically everything for every project that comes along, we try to jump in and from DC Labs and then have a look if we can put in some next level technology. But it doesn't always fit, and I think in this case it really, really had added value to the project, but also like a little surprise for the user, which helps them get a nice feeling about your project. And that, so we used automated tagging of the images. So the user uploaded the image, and then we used Azure Cognitive Services API to get a list of tags that were discovered in the image. I don't know if you know Azure Cognitive Services. There was a talk about it earlier today, I guess. But it's just a set of API with all sorts of machine learning functionalities. So you can do vision, speech, language. Some new services are added, like anomaly detection. Just have a look, give it a try. It's really simple. Just a basically an API call that you can do, and then you're using like ready-made trained models, so it's works out of the box. This is a quick thing I did last week about the tags from the NetGeo project. I loaded them from SQL in Power BI and have this very trendy tag cloud. You probably can see I'm not a designer, but what you see here, the size of the tag obviously shows the frequency. A certain tag has been discovered in all the pictures. There was a lot of nature and wildlife photography, so you see those kind of general tags like outdoor, animal, sky occurring more frequently, and then when you zoom in, there will be more specific tags. Just to show you what you can do is also Power BI, just a different visualization of the same data, and then you can see the same stuff. So the surface of the box indicates the frequency of the tag. Then there was the other part, was the content moderation. So you have basically, we did do a user login, but you basically have random people submitting all kinds of images, and all these images had to be moderated by, well, not by the famous jury, but let's say an in-between jury who did all the images. We wanted to help them out, because if you really have to see, I think there were 15,000 images in the end. You have to do them manually. It's a lot of work, and that's why we use the content moderation API. It's also cognitive services. It checks for adult or racy content, and I think we had 213 images that got one of those flags. I planned on showing them here, but then this morning I saw the conference guidelines, and I saw that everyone had to behave, and even the speaker and your presentation. So, but if you have a good memory, you can probably remember the URLs, and then we'll have a look, and or buy me a beer later, and then I'll might be showing you. No, but actually, because I of course personally looked at all the images, and there was no actual like really wrong pictures in there. But you could, if you look at the pictures, you can understand why those pictures are being flagged. So often in machine learning, there's like a cost function. If you would tag, let's say, an image containing real adult content, and you would say it doesn't, then that's like way worse than having a random image saying that it's adult. That the cost of that is let's say higher, so that the algorithm tries to focus on not making that first type of mistake. So I think that's one of the reasons. The other reasons might be that it's probably pre-trained with US data, and maybe US people are a little more sensitive to what we call artistic freedom, and which you did see in those pictures. And on the other hand, I think maybe the National Geographic audience is probably really decent. I mean, why would you send a strange picture to that? Okay, let's do a quick demo. And just to show you how easy it is to use cognitive services, and how you can use it in your own project. So you really check it out. It's really nice. No, you cannot see that. Okay. Any idea how we get that on the screen, or? Oh, that side. Okay, I was pulling the other side. Okay, I don't know if anyone can. Is it readable? But doesn't really matter, because it's just basically a HTTP client call. You put in your Azure, let's say the access key of your cognitive services resource, and you basically either put your image as a byte array or the fully qualified URL to it, and you post it to the URL, and then you get back to the raw JSON response. So let's see, I was doubting whether I would do this. Let's give it a try. I'm feeling lucky today, so. Hope I don't fall off the stage, and then you should warn me. Yeah, the other side. Okay. I think we'll count to 3 and then we say, high five, you rock, probably. Okay. High five, you rock. Okay. Don't pull out any HDMI, please. Oh, it's the first time I didn't close my eyes in a photo, so. As you can see, I've been, just in case, I've been practicing yesterday in the mirror, which was also nice. Okay. Let's see, I'll just copy the image path because I need it. And then let's see if we can run this little. That's showing up here. So I'm pasting the file path. And then I'll just push through. Okay, yes, we have a result. Okay, is this readable for people? Okay, yeah, basically this is just a simple JSON response. And within the Vision API, there are like different services that you can call. So first one is a set of fixed categories that the image is being linked to. You can check the foreground, background colors. It's nothing really special. Here you can see the tags which are recognized by the cognitive services. So you can see person, let's quickly see person, glasses. Yeah, I always get the glasses. Wine, window, people, restaurant, food, group, dinner. What do you have? Drinking. Is there anyone drinking here? It's not time, right? Young. Yeah, I guess that's not me. But so this is the crowd. Yeah, basically the tags that are generated from it, and actually from the image I did last night, I took a picture of myself in the mirror, and then it actually matched a person mirror, person standing in front of a mirror, because that's what you. Yeah, if you look at the next part, the caption part, it says that's like an automatic description of what's happening in the picture, and apparently this says a group of people sitting at a table with wine glasses. So that's kind of sums up Codegarden, I guess. No, but this is actually quite. Usually, it's quite on the spot. Yeah, or maybe from yesterday. So, okay. Yeah, let's try to get back to the keynote. All right. Yeah, and then of course we used Umbraco. Was our obvious choice because we had to do the project. I think the first go live was in 2 or 3 weeks, so we needed to have a platform that we were sure that we could deliver, that we could extend upon for all the other stuff, and that our client, our content editors would be happy using. Let me see just some quick screenshots. We did a custom data service layer implementation because we weren't sure about the content or the document types if they could handle the load. But we integrated it into the Umbraco backend so that the editors had the same editing experience. If you look at our solution, we did some like an onion architecture, which we usually take over from Knob Commerce. Allows us to have everything nice, decoupled, make it testable. I think we did a user login implementation. We did a custom blog thing. That was the how we used Umbraco basically. Like I said, it was a really short deadline. We did it in 6 weeks in total, I think. And this is where it got wrong because I asked for some analytics data and not this data. Yeah, we really overachieved on what the client wanted, and yeah, so we had a really happy client. We had about 9,000 happy photographers. And actually, at this very moment, we're building next year's edition, and so we're like iterating on the stuff we learned last year. We got some even bigger targets for the campaigns. And for example, one thing we noted is that with the content moderation, we checked for adult and racy stuff, but actually we then looked at what the manual moderators, what their reason of rejection was. And it turned out to be copyright infringements and watermarks. So we're actually training the algorithm using last year's data to find watermarks and stuff like that to make their life even more easy. So just a quick recap, because I promised to give you some tips on how to create award-winning work. So for us, goes along too quickly, but for us it's really important that you keep the award, the winning of an award in the back of your head from day one of the project. So always have it in the back of your mind. You have to stimulate a culture of innovation within your company so that you're making next level projects. It's motivating for the team, and it will help your clients help you get better projects and better clients. Have a look at the award deadlines for entry so that you can plan it and start working on it while you're doing the project and not later. And basically, we're all just geeks, I guess, so if you're having fun and doing nice tech stuff, then you might win some awards, but at least you have a nice time. Okay, thank you.